Oh, shit. My sources have told me that we just reached 19 subscribers. Thank you. Oh my fucking god, man. No, but seriously, that's really, really cool. And I know 19 isn't like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but the fact that 19 people sat there and pressed that button is really cool to me, and it means a lot. So thank you. It shows, the YouTube analytics show that you guys are subscribing from the videos and not from the shorts, which is cool because that shows me that people are actually watching the videos. Also, I have just something playing on the monitor now because I know that my videos are very much like just chatting and it's just me. There's not a lot of visuals up there for you guys, and I understand the ADHD brain and the need to kind of just look at something. So hopefully Avatar will help out with that. I'm trying something new.
The stars sure are beautiful tonight. Too bad you can't see them, Toph.
Also, I think it just makes the set look cooler. I mean, I could plug these in. Can I? Ow. "2025 was an insane year for music, in my opinion. I think we had some really, really, really good bangers. And then we had I Am Music. Can I say that? I feel like my opinions on that album are gonna get me shot or something fucking crazy. This year was interesting, especially with the rise of AI generated music and how it's proved to actually be profitable, and not just amongst people solely making AI music, but other artists being proven to have incorporated AI into their music as well. And that's kind of a editing dub. Can we get the buzz sound effect? It's ass. It's really ass, and it actually very much does upset me. With that being said, a lot of good shit has come out from the minds of actual people, and today I want to recognize my top 5 albums that have been released this year, plus 3 honorable mentions that I didn't have the heart not to include in this video because those are also projects that I am very, very much passionate about. If your album is on this list, let's make out or some shit, bro. Like, come on. If your album is not on this list, drop a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite album was, and I'll tell you if I heard it or not. I probably won't, because some of y'all have some fucking obscure taste. I say as I release a Brakence video, like, come on now. But yeah, my intros are like pretty long at this point without getting straight into the action. And this one is already kind of going down the same rabbit hole, so we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about some great fucking music. Number 5. I do this in every video when I'm counting something. I hold my hand up. Fuck it. Number 5. Number 5 is the one, the only, Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd. This is his very, very much anticipated 3rd album in a trilogy that has now been wrapped up. He's going by Abel now, I guess, even though he's referred to as The Weeknd still. He even refers to himself, so I don't fucking know what's up with that. Should I put my Timeless shirt on? I have a Timeless shirt somewhere in here. Hey, there we go. We got the opium tag on the back. I can't really rep this after what I said about music, though. Yes, I believe that there were 2 singles released for this project, Sao Paulo and Timeless, before the album dropped. But he had like a single released like before those 2, I think, and that didn't end up even being in the album, which I was very surprised by. I was kind of confused. It was okay. It was an okay single. I wasn't the biggest fan on it, but it did follow like the same 80s track that he was kind of chasing with this trilogy. I have to say, out of After Hours, Dawn FM, and Hurry Up Tomorrow, this one is my 2nd favorite. I like it more than Dawn FM as a complete project, if I'm being completely honest. Dawn FM had some pretty strong contenders, or I guess songs in that album for sure. But I think that the sound, even if it was a bit less consistent in this album, because like, how the fuck are you gonna go throw Timeless into this album? It really does not fit in there. As much as I love the track, I mean, I'm wearing the fucking shirt, but it just didn't really fit. Even if this was a less consistent project, I did find myself liking it a lot more, which thank God, because this thing is like an hour and 29 minutes long. This is like the length of a movie, sitting down and listening to this album. The first listen, I had to make like 3 different breaks to just the rest of my living area because of how fucking long this project is. So if you have not listened to this project and you intend on doing so, buckle in. It is very, very long, but I think a full listen through is so worth it. It is definitely an experience, definitely a better experience than the movie.
Well, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! What are you doing?
My standout tracks from this project have to be Give Me Mercy, which is an underrated track in my opinion. I don't hear enough people talking about it. I know it's the most basic, I feel, compared to the rest of the tracks, but I love the melodies. I love the instrumental in this song. The instrumental in this song is like, it's very, very much throwback to Dawn FM in the ways that I like Dawn FM. And I think it just sounds like really, really good. Like it's a really small idea that's put together well. And it satisfies me the most. Second is The Abyss. Like, Lana Del Rey did her fucking thing on that shit, bro. Let me tell you. The beat drop in that song, when he goes, I keep singing. I'm not gonna sing it. I'm just gonna play it. Please don't copyright strike me, bro. Yeah, that shit. Fire. Oh my god, I started levitating. And then of course Lana comes in and then like rips my fucking heart out. This isn't their first time collaborating. I think the last time they collaborated was on My Near Melancholy. No, the one before that, I think. Either way, beautiful vocals, beautiful mashup. The trap drop with the drums was so satisfying. It's great. And then my third favorite has got to be 100% Timeless. I mean, come on, we're wearing the t-shirt. That shit blew the fuck up. It's such a big song now, as it should be. The beat is so simple, especially in Cardi's part, but it's perfect. It's like the perfect song to blow up off of this project, in my opinion. And they were smart releasing that as a single for sure. It's also Cardi's best performance this whole year, in my opinion. I know he was featured on some things, and he also released his own project, and even then, again, I hope this is the last time he comes up, because I know someone's gonna get fucking pissed. There are some tracks that I'm not entirely sold on in this project, I will say, and that's why it's getting my 5th spot. I still think as a whole album, it is an insane experience, and it's one of the most memorable ones from this year. Of course it is. It's The Weeknd. Like, we all know this. But yeah, I can't bring myself to put it any higher, because I did find it dragging at times. It definitely dragged at times with some of the more mellow tracks on the project, but it's The Weeknd, and whenever he drops, it is a spectacle. So shoutouts Abel, shoutouts everyone else that was featured on that project. I think the Travis Scott feature surprised me the most. That was pretty cool, even though Astroworld wasn't. Number 4. Now, number 4 is going to an artist that I have heard mentioned for years and never took the time to get into, just because I didn't feel like it. I didn't think that their music was going to be bad. I just didn't feel like it. But since I have, and let me just say that I listed my top 5 Spotify artists, and they weren't up there, but I will say that if there's a 6th spot, I'm pretty sure they would have been up there. And that, I'm going to stop teasing you guys, that is Ethel Cain. Yes, the top 4 spot is going to Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You.
Tell me all the time not to worry.
Oh my god. This album. Even if I was an FL Kane fan before, I still don't think that I can say that any of her other projects trumps this project. This has been an album that I've just played during everything. When I'm cleaning, when I'm in a car, when I'm working on other stuff, school, you know, whatever. I'm always listening to tracks off of this project because of this earthy, spacey, acoustic masterpiece that just floods my ears with these melodramatic and heartfelt melodies and gut-wrenching fucking eat your heart out lyrics. Yes, bro. I didn't know Hayden had game like this. I didn't know. But now I do. Now I'm tapped in. Okay? I'm tapped in. Let me pull my chain out. Where's the thingy? Because in the last video, like, it was... No one gives a fuck. This project really hit an emotional part of me without getting into too much detail. I think that Loving, especially now, even though I know the album lore-wise takes place a long time ago, Loving is difficult, and it's hard to listen to this album without comparing it to your own experiences romantically. And for one reason or another, Hayden's writing, especially in this album, made tackling with that kind of concept a lot more meaningful and easy to digest, at least for me. The writing in this album, the writing in all of her albums are incredible, and I am so glad that I decided to give it a listen. If you want my top 3 tracks, number 1, or should I start at the bottom? No, I started at the top for the last one. Whatever. Number 1 is Nettles, 100%. Like, no, I'm sure no one's surprised with that. I think this was a single release. If not, fuck me. Okay, my bad. This was definitely the best track on the album for me, as I know it is for a lot of other people. The starting instrumental transitioning into the second, towards like the middle half of the song. Middle half. Yeah, way to go, Dev. Whatever. Is this the 3rd episode? Have 3 episodes played already?
Oh, fuck.
Yes, the transition is insane, and it made me feel like I was floating. The way that the drums slowly fade in, so good. And then her harmonizing towards the end of the song with that climax. Baby, I've never seen brown eyes look so blue. Like, cut it out, but don't. Second goes to Fuck Me Eyes. This song is kind of more similar, I think, to her previous projects. Not Inbred and not Perverts. Definitely not those, but her other projects. I'm sorry. I'm still becoming a fan, so I can't really... I think it's like American Daughter? American... something like that. Why don't I just look it up and educate myself instead of being a bitch? Preacher's Daughter. You fucking dumbass. It sounds a lot like stuff on Preacher's Daughter, which I also like as an album. I think it's really, really cool as well. The song, the synths for the chorus, so good. And then her vocals, Hayden has such an amazing voice. Like, I can just listen to her sing fucking anything. And I have, because I've listened to Perverts.
Do I make a talk piece about Perverts?
Third is Waco, Texas. Waco, Texas is an experience all in and of itself. I think it's like 15 minutes, and I listen to the whole thing every fucking time. Best believe I listen to the whole thing every time. This song is the one that hurt the most to listen to, but in a really, really, really cathartic way. Like, I feel like she kind of tapped into my brain and, like, took experiences out from stuff that I've had happen to me and stuff that I've had happen to people I love, and just kind of wrote a song about it. And that's not the first time that this is going to happen. There is another track, and we'll get to that track when we get to it. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend on that track. I've already been recording for 18 minutes. Oh my god. Number 3. And this is an interesting one because it wasn't an album that I was expecting a whole lot of. It's not an artist that I typically listen to. I went back and I realized that I had 2 songs liked from this artist before going into this album. And I did recognize the songs, but I didn't recognize the name. And that is SX Honey from Blood Orange. Y'all wasn't expecting that. Y'all weren't expecting that. You can't tell me. The first time I listened to this album, it was a bit of an overcast day, and I was walking. And that was the perfect aesthetic to match this album if I had to describe it at all. If you're ever going for a walk downtown or down someplace that has a lot of sentimental value to you, this is the album to listen to, that just put on and vibe with. The vocals, the features. He had a Mustafa feature on this. Mustafa. I love that guy. Name of God is amazing. And Plain Trees with Omar Apollo. Okay, we gotta focus. But yeah, I don't have much to say about this project, interestingly enough. I know it's in the top 3 spot. But there was just something about it that captivated this sense of like nostalgia for me. And I haven't really done a deep dive into the lyrics, so I can't really say if that matches the sound of the album, but the sound of it definitely did hit me there, for sure. It's such an incredible listen. If you want, like, the genre, I couldn't give it to you. Let's see if Google can give it to you, because this was such a different project. It is an R&B kind of indie vibe. Yeah, indie R&B. But I feel like that kind of doesn't even do it justice in a way. But for lack of a better, just go listen. Listen to the fucking album, bro. Top 3 songs are something in between Vivid Light and I Can Go. These songs stood out the most to me, and they have been songs that I've been playing nonstop since the album dropped. I think the vocals on all of these are amazing, and they all have different sounds. The piano in Vivid Light, I think it is, or maybe it's something in between. Go check, Nathan. Yeah, so actually that piano solo isn't from either of those tracks. The track is called Thinking Clean and is also one of my favorites. Can you tell the dumbass didn't write a fucking script for this video? Oh my god. The piano breakdown in that song is insane. It literally almost made me cry. And I haven't listened to music that's just instrumental that's ever made me that emotional before in my life. It is amazing. And then the group vocals in I Can Go, especially Mustafa. I'm not going to stop obsessing over that. When I heard his voice when listening to the album, I freaked the fuck out. He had such a talented group of people. I'll put them all up. Everyone, all the vocalists in this album, insane. It was stacked. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Please, please, please go listen to this. Please, if you have not. We are down to the top 2 albums of the year for me. Before we get into that though, I did say that I was going to do an honorable mentions list because there was just so much good music this year that I had to give a shout out to them. I'm not going to spend as much time on these. I'm kind of just going to drop them, maybe list a track or 2 that I really like and the genre. But I did want to give these guys a spotlight in my video just because they're insane. They're great. Number 1 is from my GOAT, Gene Dawson. So, Rockabye Baby, Glimmer of God. And the reason why this didn't make the list is because it is technically a deluxe for an album that came out last year, and that album is my album of that year, album of the year 2024, 100%. This project is fucking perfect, and Gene is such a talented artist. It's insane. He can mesh to any genre, to anything. His vocals he can fix and like bend to do whatever, and he does a lot of like Michael Jackson ass stuff in this project. It's so cool. I have the Glimmer of God pearlized vinyl sitting up there because I love that album so much. It's one of my favorite albums of all time, 100%. Favorite track off of the deluxe, I have to say, is Gospel. If you guys need like some like 80s pop R&B like heavy guitar, go listen to this song and listen to the rest of the project. Part-time love don't ask me nothing. Hope I don't let go. It's so good. It's so good. Number 2 is Blush by Kevin Abstract. This was an album that I was actually anticipating quite a bit because I got into Kevin maybe a year ago, and his shit is really, really cool. He has some Dominic Fike stuff, and I guess those guys have been buddies for years because, I mean, the song that came out with Dominic Fike, the one that he initially did, was like years before he blew up. Also, I was on Dominic Fike before he blew up, by the way. I was on him before he blew up, so I'm one of the goats. You know what I'm saying? He had some really, really cool features on this project. He had Derby, Quadeca, Dominic Fike, Love Spells, like some really, really cool people that aren't like as known, but all do like great shit. I was so excited to see all of these features on there, and he has Quadeca on like 2 songs. Thank you. My favorite song on this project is probably 97 Lag or Post Breakup Beauty. If you need recommendations, listen to either of those 2 tracks. The opener is really cool too. Oh my god, the opener is so cool. I wish it was longer. I hate when artists do that shit. Sometimes their best song could have been the opener if they like fleshed it out. But I get it. You're trying to be artsy, and you know, it's like to lead into like what the rest of the sound of the album. I get it. And my third honorable mention goes to Kamo, K1. I don't know if this was his first completely fleshed out project or if this wasn't, because I know that he's been notorious in this like hyper pop scene that I've been listening to for years, but I've never taken the time to check out an album of his until this released, because I saw it, I was like, oh shit, you know, like why not give it a chance? And oh my god, I am so glad I gave it a chance. This is not a hyper pop record, by the way. This is a very experimental, like hard indie rip with like distorted guitars, and it's very much like some of Jane. So I will say it's very shoegazy in that way too, but it's like it's faster than like an average shoegazy track, so I don't really know where else to put it. But yeah, insane guitar on this album. His distorted vocals are so cool. It's so fitting for the vibe. But yeah, very cool album. My favorite song is 100% Dumpster Fire. Dumpster Fire is so cool. The riffs in that song on the guitar are so neat. If you haven't, please go check that shit out. That's a very worth your time record for sure. What am I doing? My number 2 album. Now these 2 albums are very important because they fought for the number 1 spot in my list for a very long time. I've been undecided on this up until I decided to finally sit down and rank these for this video, and I've come to the conclusion. My number 2 album of the year is Even in Arcadia. Yes, if you know me, and if you've seen my first video, you might be surprised to see this at the number 2 spot instead of the number 1. This album is a near 10 out of 10 for me. I like it more than Eden, and that's gonna get some of the Sleep Token fans riled up. I don't give a fuck. But yes, this is my number 2 spot. Anthony Fantano gave it 3rd worst album of the year, and I'm gonna incite a hate mob. But yes, this was an insane extension, or I guess continuation of Eden. I talked about this in my Sleep Token video, but I do hear the similarities there more so than in Tomb or in Sundowning, and it was insane to finally be a part of a Sleep Token rollout. Like the first single, Emergence, I think was my top song of the year, and now looking at it, it's kind of crazy to say because I don't go back to that song as much anymore, because every other track on this album has proved to be not better, I guess better, but like they're all like insane. I can get into the Sleep Token sound, and I don't want to sound like a broken record because again, I've already done that. But I think this was a way more successful mashup of pop and different genres with their metal stuff, because they've done a lot of experimental things, and while this does sound the most commercialized, I think this sounds like the most fleshed out. Actually, that's a lie. I think Tomb was a more fleshed out sound, but this album is insane if you're looking for anything different while also still kind of sounding a bit more comfortable towards like what you might be used to listening to if you're more of like a mainstream kind of person. Top 3 songs for this album. Number 1 is Provider. Probably the least listened to, I think the least listened to track on the album, which is insane that they pulled it out for the tour too. This is my favorite. The chorus gets me. I will say, I've never ever really had a gripe with Vessel's writing, ever. I think it's beautiful. I will say, some of the writing in the song is a little corny. And by little, I mean very, very corny. The fucking ICU line kind of made me want to kill myself listening to it for the first time. But besides that, it is an insane track. The melodies, the topic of the song too, without getting into detail again, is one that I can relate to. And just knowing that someone else has put themselves in a position like that just to feel loved hurts. But I guess it helped me realize that it is a very much real thing that people do to feel valued, to feel loved. And it is insane translating that into a song as upbeat as this one is. My number 2 is Gethsemane, and this is the song that I was referring to when I said that the topic of personal music is going to come back up in. This song, I actually cried listening to the song for the first time, and like I said before, I really don't do that to music too often. I have a whole playlist of songs that have made me cry because I want to keep track, and there's like 4 songs in that playlist. I like to think that I'm pretty emotionally adept, but I really don't cry a lot when I listen to music. But Gethsemane did, and I'm not going to go into the details about that, but if you've been in a relationship similar to what is talked about in Gethsemane, then you know why that album hit, or that song hit as hard as it did, for sure. I think that it went from like a slow like synth to like a hopecore like guitar kind of vibe, and then it went into a hard metal break, and then the Weeknd-esque trap breakdown at the end. Oh my god, that was such an insane first experience. Please listen to this song. The lyrics in this song hurt so much, and Vessel's performance I loved so much. He slid over that last part so smoothly. My jaw was on the ground 100%. And my number 3 spot is going to Caramel. I don't have much to say about that song. That's like their biggest song right now. I mean, I think Summoning has more streams still, but in terms of popularity, that's winning them Grammys. Maybe. Allegedly. I don't want to jinx it, but that song, Caramel, 100%. So I don't have much to say about that. I think the topic that he touches on is very, very personal to him, and I think that song already makes it one of my more favorite ones just because of that. It hurts listening to that, and I can't understand personally because I don't have a following as big as that, and I haven't gone through the stuff that he is in terms of fame, but just listening to someone talk about that kind of stuff, and he's not the first one to do it, but having an artist that you genuinely do give a fuck about talk about it, it hurts and it's sad. But oh my god, what a banger of a fucking track that shit is. That shit is so good. I realize I haven't made many jokes in this video, but am I funny? Like, do you guys need that? I think I'm funny. I hope I'm funny. If I'm funny, tell me in the comments below, and if I'm not, do it too. Maybe don't do that. But yes, so my number 1 spot. This album and this artist was someone that I actually discovered around this time last year. So I was able to experience the rest of their music a little bit before they started this rollout, which was so cool for me. I got lucky there. And I have liked every single thing that they've tried. I haven't gone through all their fucking SoundCloud shit because, oh my god, they have like fucking 17 different accounts or whatever the fuck. And they're responsible. They are very, very influential for a lot of different genres. They're going to be very, very influential with this project as well, without a doubt. I am giving my number one spot to Revenge Seekers by Jane Remover. Yay! 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 This album is very much overwhelming upon first listen, upon second listen. There are still some tracks that I find very overwhelming and I find myself trying to keep up with. But I think that's really cool because that just gives me more of a reason to go back and listen to this shit. It is so, so cool. I love the way Jane produces music. It is such it's almost like this muddy kind of style. And that fit really well into this more like rager EDM kind of vibe that they went with Revenge Seekers. I remember when JR first dropped and I was blown away. I didn't know if I liked it or not. And I feel like a lot of people are going to feel like that about this record. They don't know if they like it or not because, again, because of how overwhelming it is to listen to upon first listen, upon second listen, you know? But yeah, that song jump scared the fuck out of me with that first drop. Jesus Christ. And then the rest of it just did not let it up. It did not let up at all. The fucking Oscar sample. You're gonna sample Oscar? Oscar. Isn't that how Shinji says it? I kind of look like Shinji right now. Should I just? No, I'm not dressing up as Shinji. No, I'm not dressing up as Shinji. Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time, by the way. Just a little, just a little tidbit. This album, it carries its same sound throughout the entire project, but there are always new ideas and new aspects of it being introduced throughout the entire thing. So I was never bored of listening to it. I think that's one thing that you can never be when listening to this album, even if you don't like it at all, is that you are never bored. Because there are constant beat flips, there are constant changes in each song that just like pull your interest back in. Unless your ears are bleeding, in which case, grow the fuck up, pussy. Yeah, this album is very intense, and I don't blame people for not liking it or for taking a while to get used to it. I've been someone that's been listening to hyperpop and EDM since I was very, very young. Porter Robinson, one of the most influential musicians of my life, like 100%. So while it was still very overwhelming and a lot to take in upon first listen, I think that I have a lot easier of a time doing that than someone who isn't used to listening to that kind of music. Like, I 100% get it, but don't get me wrong. Please give this album a listen. It is insane. It shows a lot when Dancing With Your Eyes Closed has 10 million listens, because I believe that's her most streamed song now. Or they. I think it's they. If I said her in the rest of this, I do apologize. It's they. I believe she, they, or something like that. Someone let me know if you know, please. My top 3 for this project is very, very hard because there are so many tracks in this that I cannot stop listening to, that I will not stop listening to. Number 1, 100%, Dancing With Your Eyes Closed. It's a fan favorite. It's her most successful song off the project, and it is completely 100% warranted. This song, I think out of all of the songs on the project, is definitely the most digestible. So I do recommend, if you're interested in checking this album out but kind of scared by what I've said about it, check out this song. If you like this song, listen to the rest of the project. If you don't, know that this song is probably the most tame out of all of them. And that's saying a lot because this song is not tame at all. The beat in this song is insane. Its flips and breakdowns that they do in this song is so wild, and the melodies are definitely the most catchy, I think, in both the instrumental and vocally. Very, very, very catchy. Very, very cool stuff. There's not a single segment of the song that does not get stuck in your head. I promise you there's not. Second is Turn Up or Die. This song is very, very close to being my number 1 favorite, but I think Dancing With Your Eyes Closed is just a bit more catchy to my ear that I kind of do enjoy it a little more than Turn Up or Die. But Turn Up or Die is insane, and the beat drop in that song is probably the most satisfying and hype beat drop that I've ever listened to in my entire life. 100%. If there's any space in my brain for the most satisfying beat drop that I can list, it is the one in that song. The breakdown in that song is so good, and it's so refreshing and rewarding to listen to, because I feel like the rest of the song, or before that beat drop, we're kind of taken through and teased with these different melodies and different like jump patterns and stuff, and it's like, okay, we're not like really catching our footing. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great song to listen to all like the whole way through. But once we find that breakdown at the end, it's like, okay, this is what the entire song was leading up to, and it is so good. The strong like distorted synths that happen that like sound like some like crazy like old dubstep shit blew me away. It is such a good listen. Such a good listen. And third, I'm gonna have to give to Psycho Boost. That song I actually did not like upon first listen. I was not vibing with Psycho Boost at all. And then I kept going back to the album and listening and listening and listening, and it slowly started to grow on me until it became one of my favorites. The way that Danny and Jane go back towards the end of the song is so satisfying, so cool. It's so addictive. Both of their verses beforehand too, great. They're great. Danny Brown, he did his thing on that, and I love his cadence that he brings to tracks. I think he has a very, very unique way of rapping and singing that is very, like, it's just the Danny Brown touch. It's the Danny Brown touch. Everything else that I've heard him in, I haven't gone out and listened to something that he's done solo-wise, but everything else that I've listened with him on there is always a treat, just because he is so cool. His voice and his flows are so cool. But yes, this is, I think Psycho Boost and maybe JR are the most overwhelming songs to listen to on the project. So I do understand if some people don't fuck with this one, but it is one of my favorites. And I do want to give a shout out to Star People. It didn't make the top 3, but that song is also very, very sick. And the flip at the end, I'm not going to say anything about it because I want people to go listen to it. But go listen to Star People, and just, even if you're not fucking with it, listen until the end. Listen until that like that endish halfway point. Oh my god. No. Don't. But yeah, that is my top 5 plus 3 honorable mentions. This year was so cool, and for me personally, I grew a lot this year with the music. I grew my tastes quite a lot, and I think Ethel Kane and Jane Remover were very responsible for that. Who knew that it was the trans goats? The trans goats. Trans people make goated music. We've talked about this. Well, I haven't, but I've seen people talk about it. But yeah, my taste has grown a lot, and it's thanks to projects that I've released this year. And so I think this year is very, very special to me because of that. Even in Arcadia coming out, you know, finally being a part of a Sleep Token rollout, being able to see them on tour, music has meant a lot to me this year. And I hope that you guys, even if your top 5s are not mine, that you've had music that's really, really changed your outlook on life, or even just your outlook on music this year, because there are a lot of diamonds in the rough. A lot of dog shit released this year too, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of disappointing shit. And hey, maybe I'll do a video on that. I don't like to be negative on this channel. But yeah, I've been recording for 48 minutes. This is officially the longest that I've ever recorded for a video. And I'm about to pop this in and edit it. But I did want to say again, thank you so much for 19 subscribers. That's very, very cool to me. I don't know what I'm going to do next for a topic. Maybe I'll drop a reaction to something. But someone has to drop something that I give a fuck about. Or someone could recommend something. I don't think we're quite there with viewership yet for people to actually engage with like what I'm asking y'all to do. But fuck it, you know, whatever. So I was watching this, and you have a suggestion, drop it, and I will probably 100% listen to it. But yes, I don't do this often. I haven't done this at all since we started. But if you've made it to this point, that means a lot. And that means that you probably give a fuck about what I'm saying and my content, and that would mean a lot to me if you subscribed and liked. But if not, I get it. But yeah, share your favorite songs and your favorite albums that came out this year in the comments as well, if you have any. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.